Hello, Student Council. My name is Kyle Anderson. These are my friends, Chris Anderson, Bill Rustler, and David Joshua Hernandez. Say hello, guys.
What's up?
Er,
I eat your souls.
I'm assuming that there's no cursing on this chat, is there?
Nope.
Ah! Yeah, keep it minimum then.
Okay. And we're here to tell you. Okay. And we're here to tell you why you should pick Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters all out attack, for a monster movie night. This video will be explaining why you should choose this particular movie, why we recommend it, and we'll also be telling you who Godzilla really is and who he isn't. Let's begin this video. First up, why you should choose GMK for the movie night. Who wants to go first?
No, I'll go first, guys.
Okay, Bill, you go ahead.
This movie should be chosen for Monster Movie Night during Halloween because it's basically a time capsule of everything that's great about monster movies. In that it's a really, really dark and dramatic film, a lot of horror elements, and it's basically a perfect monster movie in every sense. And one thing that I always thought was funny about GMK as being a Godzilla movie, is that it manages to contain some pretty surprising elements that are parts of American horror films. Like, I'm sure you guys remember the scene where Mothra comes up out of the water, and there's that group of teenagers partying on the beach. It's a very American horror film scene, so GMK for me really is a time capsule of everything that's great about horror, about monster movies, more specifically, personally, about Godzilla. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Okay, good. Who would like to go next?
I guess I'll go next.
Alright?
I guess to me, why I would choose GMK for a monster movie night is because, like I said before, people have a extreme misconception of what Godzilla is, and this particular film manages to recapture what Godzilla initially was from the beginning in a modern fashion. He was a serious nuclear symbol of nuclear holocaust, and GMK recaptures them for a modern audience.
It does. It must. Chris, take us away. Yes, for me, GMK is the one movie that only comes once in a great lifetime of Godzilla fans. This movie was made by a Godzilla fan that went on, well, before that went, did Gamera trilogy in the 90s. Toho let him do a Godzilla movie, and we got what? Real Godzilla. That real Godzilla from the 1950s was envisioned to be from Yashio Honda, Ijei Subaraya, Akira Ifukube, Tomoyuki Tanaka. This is Godzilla that they wanted, and they would be proud if they ever saw this movie. They would be proud of the future for Godzilla. This movie truly is what Godzilla should have been back in 1951. Soulless, evil, son of a cheese. That's all I can say. I have to agree with basically what Chris said. I think that it is a great recapturing of what made Godzilla so amazing and groundbreaking in the first place, in that he really is kind of the monster of monsters. That he really is the king of the monsters, as he's called, and I'm sure most of the people listening to this will have heard that subtitle under Godzilla. And yeah, this film is embodying of that because it's a really complex film, but it's not a film that is lacking fun and entertainment value, despite it having really dark themes and interesting explorations of characters and historical ideas. And despite that, it is a really fun movie. I mean, would you guys as a great despite the darkness. It is a really fun monster.
Yes, it is.
It's a really good movie. It really is. It's got a lot of scenes in it that makes you laugh. Well, not even that. Well, yes, there is quite a few comedy moments, but it's just really fun. Like, not necessarily funny, but just like, I mean, the monster battles are wildly entertaining. The epic moments, like when Godzilla first shows up, just are hoorah moments where you just get up and cheer, and just overall the epic tone makes it a really fun movie. So, that's really my 2 cents on it. Go ahead, David. You're next.
Again?
Adam. Okay. So you want to move on, or should we?
Yes, I think we should go on. Should we explain... Oh, my reasons. Yes, thank you, Bill. Thank you. My reasons why you should pick GMK for the Monster Movie Night. My reasons are, this is a true monster movie, a true Godzilla movie, and it is something that everybody should see. It is one of those kind of movies that just should have everybody go to the theater at midnight. My other reasons... Oh, you were going to say something, Chris?
No, I'm just saying, yep.
Oh, okay. My reasons why you should pick this movie, it takes Godzilla back to its dark, holocaustic atomic roots. That is the Godzilla I grew up knowing.
That's the one that we all grew up knowing.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say except a few other things, but I don't want to bring up now. Are we ready to go on?
Yeah.
Okay. The second part. Let's explain the plot and characters.
I'll explain that.
How about we all explain it?
Okay. Do you guys want to kind of go round robin and like Kyle, you start and we'll go to the next person. Like Kyle, you say a chunk of the plot, and then the next person will say the next thing until we're over. So why don't we do that?
All right. Who wants to start first?
I'll start the plot.
Take it away.
Okay. Plot line in Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah Jet Monster Power Attack starts like this. In Tokyo, Adamaru Taizo Tachibana frees candidates to support about Godzilla's attack on Tokyo 50 years ago. Nuclear submarine is reported missing, which is later found to have been destroyed by Godzilla. Tachibana's daughter, Yuri Tachibana, filmed docudrama with her crew at Mount Gmk, where a mysterious earthquake randomly ensues. The odd earthquake returns later, then burying a biker gang, leaving one surviving trucker witnesses the monster buried. The next day, Yuri is unable to convince her manager to report the incident to the Self-Defense Force. Attempts to rescue the buried men using a missile called D3. The surviving trucker tries to explain to a military official what he saw, but can only explain that he believed it was Godzilla. Yuri's friend, I don't know his name, so screw it.
I think it was Takeda.
What?
I think it was Takeda.
Yeah, Cicada. That a monster may have been the cause of the mysterious Yoko quake by giving her a book on the guardian monsters. While a few teenagers at Lake Akita and Kagoshima were attacked by an insect monster, Mothra. The Defense Force analyzed underwater footage of what appears to be glowing dorsal fins, leaving the destroyed nuclear submarine from shore. The conclusion is drawn that the monster is, in fact, Godzilla. Yuri interviews the old man. The old man foretells the turn of Godzilla. Shama explains to her the legend of the guardian monsters, America, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, and goes on that they must be awakened before Godzilla destroys the man. Yuri and the team visit the guardian monster's shrine where she finds a stone. Godzilla comes to the shoulder to what's that place name? Ekmatata or something like that. Attacks the boy Janaya. Leaving few survivors. Yuri returns to interview Osama and discovers that the four also the World War II are embedded in the Beacon and within Godzilla, who destroyed Japan after the nation forgotten their sacrifices. A few days later, Godzilla and Paragon finally appear in Japan and emerge and engage in a ferocious battle in Yokohama. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, wrong place. Second, Yuri and Takeda trapped in this battle when Godzilla molested defeats Paragon with his atomic breath. After the battle, Yuri receives a minor injury to the head. Fearing for Takeda, refuses to take her to Godzilla's location. Angered, Yuri goes alone. Offers to soon be discovered in Latvia. The small defense force dispatches out fighter jets to stop Godzilla, but quickly defeated by the monster. Tachibana sets up a defense line in Yokohama. Mothra, yet to be grown Ghidorah, awakens and flies towards Yokohama where Godzilla is spotted. Mothra arrives first and battles the monster. Ghidorah arrives moments later and joins the fray. After briefly taking down both monsters, the self-defense force engaged Godzilla with B-3 missiles, but to no avail. Enraged, Godzilla swiftly destroys nearly the entire defense line using his atomic breath. Mothra rises in a surprise attack, but Godzilla kills her with his atomic breath. Mothra's spirit entwines with Ghidorah, transforms him into the 3,000-year-old dragon, King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah injures Godzilla and takes the battle underwater. Tachibana and his colleagues join the fight using Zazubaar submarine. Tachibana plans to shoot a D3 into Godzilla's womb, but fails after several attempts. Yuri and Takeda form the struggle from a bridge that later Godzilla's atomic breath. Takeda and Yuri help on, but the Shrine Stone falls from Takeda's pocket and sees Steve melting on Ghidorah's head. Ghidorah's power is strengthened up and takes the battle to the surface once more. Yuri and Takeda barely survive the fall and swim ashore while the monsters continue to fight. Godzilla with a superpower and unleashes the spirits of the guardian monsters, sink them down to the deep. After entering Godzilla's body through his mouth, Tachibana successfully plants a D3 missile in Godzilla's womb. Godzilla searches to come face to face with Yuri Takeda by the but the monster collapses. It must explode. Tachibana exits Godzilla's body through the monster's womb right before the monster deathens. Japan soon rejoices at their victory against Godzilla. However, monster's heart continues to beat on the ocean floor, and that is the plot of Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and giant monsters all at attack.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Kyle Anderson.
Would you guys like me to go on to the next topic? Okay, topic 3. This is a biggie. Do not, by any means, choose Godzilla 1998. And here's why. Take it away, guys.
I think I should take this one.
Take it, Gorizard.
Alright, David. Your turn to shine.
Well, I'm the expert in this. Okay, first of all, the 1988 American... Huh?
Go for it.
First of all, the 1998 American Godzilla movie is not even a Godzilla movie at all. And just like Green Lantern, it degrades years of giant monster films in memorabilia. It just completely showers it down in an unfathomable ripoff of Jurassic Park. It completely it embraces the negativity of monster films. Like, a lot of people mock these giant monster films for their quote unquote silliness, but of course, we all know the silliness is the practical effects. And, at the moment, the 1998 American Godzilla kind of embraces that. You can't take a film like that very serious because it's so, how do we say it? So too mainstream, too Hollywood blockbusterish.
Oh yeah,
It's not serious. It's not serious at all, like Godzilla. And of course, this was a supposed reimagining or remake of Godzilla, which is a serious film, and the 1998 film does not capture that. On top of that, it plays the character of Godzilla as a very inferior and weak creature, which is the polar opposite with the actual creature. It's a very powerful, strong, and menacing beast. The 1998 American Godzilla, however, is different. It's weak. It has no character design. It has nothing to grasp.
it truly is a generic monster in every sense of the word. But
That's what you said on it.
don't kill me for this, people. But I did like the soundtrack. No, don't. sorry, Chris, but it's so generic, and it's like Gorizard was saying with his wonderfully spoken hatred of this film, because I completely agree with every word of it. Godzilla 98, this goes with the soundtrack as well, is an extremely typical Hollywood movie in every sense of the word. It's a popcorn movie in every sense of the word as well, and the soundtrack is a composition of random and unmemorable chords mixed in with random pop songs, and the film is very much so embodied by that. So it's in the case of that, the soundtrack does represent the movie because the movie overall is an extremely basic and plain and just been there, done that kind of disaster movie. It's not a monster movie really at all. Well, it's about a monster, but the monster itself is really kind of a basic and device just to cause disaster. And it's totally a wrong movie to show at your monster movie night because it doesn't follow the basic monster movie structure. The monster itself is just a conceit to get a disaster scenario. And there's nothing horrific or monstrous about the creature. It's just a conceit to have disaster scenes and cute, if all entirely annoying scenes with human characters. And overall, it's just a completely wrong movie to show at your monster movie night because it's not really a monster movie. And it's a really poor, exposure to your student body and to your community because it is not representative of the thing it claims to representing, Godzilla, and it's also not a good representation of a monster movie because it's a really basic, been there, done that. As Gorizard was saying, embracing the negative aspect of monster movies. The thing is that this is the big reason for me personally on why you shouldn't show it at your monster movie night, is that it looks down on monster movies. It looks down on the original Gojira as a silly, worthless piece of 50s B-movie trash. And the director and the production team has come out and said that they think of the film as that. And the film overall seems to look down on monster movies as this poor and just goofy and worthless genre when it's not that way. And it seems to say, this is how you do a monster movie. And it's a poor disaster movie, not a monster movie at all. So it looks down on the genre that this movie night is based on. So don't show it for that at all. That's really my 2 cents on it.
The best way how to look at this is, hypothetically speaking, if you're having like a Batman movie night, it would be wrong to show Batman and Robin in favor of instead of a Batman Begins or The Dark Knight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I agree. It's a great analogy. Yes. I have to say this right now. To the council, if you're watching this right now, watch Bill's CGC monthly review of Godzilla 1998. You'll see we ripped it a new one, and you'll see why we hate the movie. It's all explained in that video. So watch it.
I really thought they got 3 hours of their time to watch our chat. So
2 hours and 9 minutes.
Wait,
I got it.
we're just gonna sum it up for them right quick on this video to save them time.
Yeah, just so they don't have to go over and watch that. So, yeah, I can sum it up in one word. The movie is not Godzilla. It's not a monster movie. It's just worthless and generic garbage. You can find it in any other better films, such as Roland Emmerich's other film that's entertaining if not entirely pointless, Independence Day. And I even think some of his later work, like, I think Day After Tomorrow is better than this. It's so generic, it just looks down upon the thing that it's based on, so just don't show it. Yeah. But we did get this from Dean Emmerich himself. He did come out and he did say sorry about the movie. Yeah, I do agree with that. That proves to show that he was loyal to Godzilla himself. But of course, when you're working with Emmerich, he just twists everything around and just makes it total crap. No, you can't pin it all on it. Well, Emmerich is the majority of the problem, but Devlin's not innocent himself because he may have apologized, but the thing that drove me crazy about something he said about the film is that he said that we're making the Godzilla that the original authors intended. And that's saying that they have some sort of respect or admiration for the original author. Yet they have come out several times and said that they don't like that version. So they're looking down on the thing that they're based on. So Devlin's not innocent either, and Emmerich's even more so because Emmerich has come out and said, I think the original Gojira and the Godzilla series is bad. So they're both guilty and should be put to death for that for me. Excuse me, people, but I will say this: I hope Roland Emmerich burns in hell for this.
He will.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed no cursing.
I'll beep it out.
Well, hey, he wasn't referring to the word; he was referring to the place. So it's not.
I want to curse too. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, okay.
It's a location.
Okay, but back to the subject. Okay, anyways, basically, the filmmakers of the 1998 American Godzilla just think they're above the original source material, which they're basing their stuff on. Yeah, I think that's the overall consensus we all agree on. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Really,
So tell me, are we ready to go on to the next topic?
You should choose Gmk.
Yes, next topic.
Okay.
Next topic, please.
Okay, now this is something we should all explain to student council. Who people think Godzilla is and who Godzilla really is.
I think we should all go separately for this.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, David. First. So, who wants to start?
Me? Already called it.
Alright, go ahead.
I said this a million times, and I am more than happy to repeat this. The majority of Western audiences believe that Godzilla is this dumb, silly creature that's made for children, and it's just this, this man in a obviously fake-looking suit, but it's more than that. Godzilla and the films in general are more than just monster fare. They were initially serious films with anti-nuke messages behind them about look how things are doing. It was basically a metaphorical and hypothetical film on what if this happened? What if we went way too far with nuclear weapons? Our own creations are going to come back and bite us in the ass. So it's basically like a Frankenstein story, but with a modern conception and with the nuclear aspects added into the mix.
I agree with everything that David just said. Likewise.
Same here.
Who's next?
You, Bill.
Me? Okay. Like Gorizard8 as well. I've said this times as well, but again, I do happy to repeat it. Godzilla for me was always kind of a childhood icon, but your student council will hear my childhood story, so save that. Godzilla is the original Frankenstein novel, which, by the way, is a novel read in basically all schools. I'm currently reading it for my school. Frankenstein is regarded for his Frankenstein, the modern Prometheus. And that was referring to a Greek myth about the god the character Prometheus who stole fire from the gods and brought it down to earth. And Frankenstein was referred to as that because Frankenstein was taking the power of gods and bestowing it upon a dead matter and bringing it back to life. I would call Godzilla the modern Frankenstein. In that, in a somewhat different way, you've got people taking as said in Mothra vs. Godzilla, the fire of the gods and bringing it down to humanity, and using it to make war on each other and make people seem powerful than they were really ever intended to be. And because of their arrogance, and because of their belief they can control this power, we have Godzilla. This repercussion of their deaths from going into the power of the gods, and thus you have Godzilla, which is this embodiment of that. And Godzilla is truly a fascinating and complex and worth studying character in film and film series because of that. And yes, there are the films where Godzilla is the superhero kickboxing alien, but that's not what he is. There's only like 5 or 6 movies where that's the rest of the 22 or 21 films are all dark and serious explorations of the faults of humanity. And that's what Godzilla really is. And that's what Gmk embodies. So Godzilla really is the representation of man's mistakes. And I think that he deserves to be credited as such, and that's why Godzilla is my favorite fictional character of all time. So for me, I can sum it up as Godzilla is the modern Frankenstein.
Okay. Chris, did you want to go next?
Yep, I'll go.
Then go.
Okay. For me, as Bill said, Godzilla is the modern day Frankenstein, but in my opinion, you people look at Godzilla, what do you see? A man in a rubber suit. Yeah, who cares, right? But Godzilla is so much more than a man in a rubber suit. He is a mutation. Godzilla's a mutation. We made him that way. We had him do his life twice. Oh, twice. We create a monster that we cannot control, and now we are paying for it. He is getting his revenge on humanity for what they've done to him and to the planet Earth. We are destroying the very thing that is keeping us alive. And Godzilla is upset because we have fucked up the natural balance of the world. Plus we made him into what he is. So in turn, he is a vengeful, killing machine, as seen in the original Gojira and here in Gmk. He is what he is because we made him that way, and now we have to pay for that sin. He is the embodiment of the atomic bomb used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the 1954 hydrogen bomb test. So all in all, this is why this Godzilla series has survived for so long. Oh yeah, Godzilla is a guy in a rubber suit and he fights other guys in rubber suits. But isn't that what makes Godzilla what he is? Originally, in the first 4 movies, he's the bad guy. But after that, he becomes good. But then we get back to his nuclear holocaustic roots in Godzilla 1954. From there onwards, he's just there as the embodiment of what we have done. He's revenge. Wants revenge. It's the same thing as the same thing as if someone killed your son or daughter. You want revenge for the man who did it. Because they just fucked up your life, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Godzilla. Fucked his life up. We made him, now we have to pay. This is why Godzilla is better than Godzilla 19. Because this is the real Godzilla that Pete, Kyle, Bill, and David grew up with. They grew up with the holocaustic nuclear method Godzilla. But at Gmk, this is more of a mystical, but he's still Godzilla. This is why he is known anytime the big bad monsters took in Ghidorah, he beat Ghidorah. That's a monster that destroys planets by itself, no less. Godzilla took him down. He took on Mechagodzilla. That was supposed to take over the world. He destroyed it. He earned that title because of years of fighting and respect. He is the true king of the monster. That's all I have to say on the subject.
Thank you, Chris. So, are we still ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. Next is the rating. Is the film appropriate or not to show at a movie night, considering some things?
May I go first?
Considering what?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bill, you go on.
What are we considering?
Like, language,
What are the standards for this monster movie night? Like, what can't they show, what can't they show?
I have no idea. Basically, language, content, what the audience is seeing.
Well, to put it safely, there are no sexual situations or nudity. There is no extreme adult language like the F word or whatnot. So, I think it's a safe PG-13 movie. If anything, the Transformers movies are more extreme than GMK.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. The funny thing is that the darkness of GMK that I talked about before, is not because of an excessive use of gore or an excessive use of language or anything or death. It's all in the tone and the way the characters describe Godzilla. As Gorizard said, there's no excessive use of gore. There's no sex scene to speak of. The word sex is not even uttered in the film. And, there's no language that I can really pick out. I mean, the S word is said a few times, but come on. I mean, that's in everything these days. There's nothing in this film that you wouldn't hear in your typical Hollywood film that your student body is already going to see of their own fruition. So I think it's more than safe for them to see it in a school head environment. So I think it's more than safe, and I think it's well worth their time. So I think it's more than appropriate.
Okay, Gorizard, you go next.
It's basically a PG-13 movie if you think about it. There's nothing too extreme about it. There is no extreme blood and gore. I'm using the word extreme a lot, but bottom line, it's not an extreme movie. If you look at, going back to Transformers, there's a lot more inappropriate content for children in those films than there are in this film. You have freaking Michael Bay showing up girls' asses and cleavage and whatnot. You even have robot balls and Giles coming out, shit, as he runs. But GMK is completely clean in those aspects. Yeah, it is. So it's a safe film to show to even a family. The only problem with it is that it's a very dark film. Like, it's basically like the Dark Knight of Godzilla.
I agree with that, yeah.
I'm glad it's dark.
It's just a dark film in terms of tone and style. It's a very serious film.
And no, there was no scene where Godzilla cuts a smile into Baragon's face.
Right.
Exactly. Ooh,
Well, that would be awesome. Can you imagine, like, Godzilla rips the tusk off of Baragon and cuts a smile into his face? That would be awesome.
now something that my mom was concerned about. The monster battles in this movie.
I'll go for that one. Why was she concerned about?
What's there to be concerned about?
For one thing, they are extremely violent sometimes.
Well, not to a point where you can't show it to a teenager. I saw this movie when I was like 11 or 12 years old.
I saw this movie when I was 5.
I don't think it's that they're extremely violent. I think it's that they're pretty hardcore, is the word.
Yeah. They're
Okay, that's
very
better.
intense, and that's what makes them awesome. I mean, there's no part where like Godzilla rips the leg off a monster or anything. I mean, they're just very intense and gripping monster battles. Yes, they're a little violent, but they're going to be inherent. So, it's nothing too extreme that they don't show in school anyway. Like, I mean, I've seen movies in my school that I would never expect it. I watched the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. There's nothing in GMK that is monster battle or human that's going to deeply offend parents, student body, anything. The monster battles are intense but not overly violent to the point of I want to get my kid out of the theater. Nothing like that. So.
Oh, and speaking of that, Bill.
Monster battles are fine. What's that?
Speaking of that, Bill, I was watching this movie a few days ago, and when my little cousins sat down and watched the movie, they started getting really scared at this movie. That's one thing I'm concerned about. If you bring a younger sibling.
How old are your cousins?
They're like 7, 6, 5.
Okay, so here's one question I have about this monster movie night. What's the age range of people coming to see it?
I have no idea.
I still say it's fine. I mean, it's a monster movie. It's going to be inherently a little intense, but it's nothing that is inappropriate. Again, for a school environment, I think it's fine.
Okay, good.
If anything, it's also like good old-fashioned rubber-suited monster fun when it comes to the action scene.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. I would definitely agree, but I'd say that it's very convincing. Like, there's nothing about it where you go, "Oh, that's a guy in a suit." If you know about the background of the film, it's very apparent. But when you're watching the movie, I think the film grips you enough and they're convincing enough that it definitely comes off as a real creature. Godzilla's face in this film is so expressive. Oh yeah. Like,
Yes, it is.
Wide-eyed, it's so cool. I love the animatronics on the face, but the monster battles are fun. They're a little intense, but nothing that you wouldn't see in any other Hollywood currently. So I think they're fine. I guess it's now on to me then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For me, for GMK, a lot of things I agree with Bill on that subject. He's deep, he's dark, he's evil. That's what I like about Godzilla. And what's more is when you first get to see Godzilla in the movie itself, you get this real creepy music. You actually are scared of it. You don't know what's going on. And when you get a close up of Godzilla's face and those pure white eyes, it just scares the shit out of you.
That's what it did for me.
Movie itself brings you into that movie. It makes you think you're there. And that's a lot of movies don't do that for you. You actually think you're in the movie. So you're scared the living shit because of Godzilla. The monster battles are fucking brutal. I mean, they're not like, ripping each other's throats out or anything. They're brutal. The final scene, the final battle with Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidorah, the whole city goes up in a blazing hellfire. That final scene is epic, but in this movie, you see the actual destruction that these monsters are causing to the city, which is something you don't see in monster movies. You don't see what the monsters are causing to the city. You just see monster fight and people run. That's the normal thing. But in this one, you see nobody's been crushed, people injured, people on fire.
You saw that in the Gamera trilogy.
And I mean, you see this god of destruction taking on 3 monsters that have been protecting Japan for years. But this thing's taking them on like they're just babies compared to him. Ghidorah's supposed to be the 3,000-year dragon. He's supposed to be the big bad. He's supposed to be the strongest of the monsters. But he gets his ass handed to him by Godzilla so easily. Baragon, who gives a shit? Mothra? Good. Godzilla laughs at her.
Well, hey, Chris, what's your point?
My point is, the movie itself is great entertainment. The monster battles are just epic. Godzilla himself, scary as fuck. That's all I have to really say on the movie. He's a scary motherfucker. You don't want to be in his sights. I thought we were going to try to cursing.
I'll censor it.
Okay. Have fun with that.
Oh, trust me. I have all night to edit.
Oh, I hope so. All in all, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack is the second best Godzilla movie in the whole series, besides the original. While I may not agree with that, I do definitely think it's one of the best and is well worth all your entire audience's time and money to go see. So I think it's the perfect movie to show at Monster Movie Night. That's all I have to say about GMK. Now take it back to Kyle.
Okay, another topic. What to do to prepare for a monster movie night, especially if it's GMK. What can you do to convince audiences to go and see this movie?
Well, personally, what I would do is just ask people if they like old school, good old fashioned giant monster films, and if they say yes, then this film would basically meet their appeal.
Yeah, I think that this movie is definitely not for everyone. Like I'm not gonna lie and say that Godzilla is something that every average Joe in the street is gonna like, but I think that if you appreciate, any kind of monster movie, whether it be films like the Halloween series or even like films like The Other Thing, anything that's human or scary monster, I think this film's perfect. And in terms of preparation to go see it, I don't think much. I mean, yes, there are mentions of the original Gojira, but it's nothing where you're lost. I think this film is very standalone. And I think if you have just a passing familiarity with the plot of Gojira, just like the premise, I think that this film is perfectly fine on its own. And I just think that you have to appreciate monster movies in order to enjoy this film. So I just think in terms of preparation, just have a passing familiarity with the original Gojira. True. Now for me, I would show them the trailer.
Oh yes, the trailer.
Anybody who sees that trailer, they're gonna know that movie has to be really epic.
To be honest, all Japanese trailers kind of over-exaggerate their film.
But this one, I have to agree, they didn't over-exaggerate. The movie itself was piercing. Don't show them the trailer for Tokyo SOS. God, no.
As a matter of fact, don't show them the Japanese trailer, as a matter of fact, for GMK, because if you look at almost every trailer for films that come out of Japan, any film, they're all over-exaggerated. There's this film that I saw called Alive, and it's very, very boring. And the trailer made it out to look like a sci-fi action film. It's not that at all. Trailers from Japan just over-exaggerate things. And I think your student council probably might get the wrong idea if they saw the trailer.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. Maybe what you should do is show some of the stuff that Kyle Gilmore did on King of Texas Production. Like show some of the footage he's compiled from GMK and show that in front of the film, because that all makes the film out to see exactly what it is, an epic, scary monster movie. So maybe you should put a little bit of that footage before this video. That way they get an idea of what we're going to be talking about.
Good idea.
It'll work. Or you can have that and a little bit of the original Gojira in there a little bit too.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Because that would make more sense to get them more hyped to see the movie before it even shows. Yeah.
Wait, to show them the trailer of Gojira so they can be hyped for GMK?
No.
Got confused for a second.
That would work, and if you show them 85 Texas fan-made trailer of Godzilla Monster, Giant Monsters All Attack, that there would be...
Or you can just make your own trailer.
I'm gonna do that.
That requires time and patience.
I only require 6 hours to make my own trailer.
Hopefully Kyle has more stuff than I do. I have if someone came up to me like, make a fan-made trailer for GMK, I'm like, oh, that. Now see, me personally, I would love to do it, but I don't have any clips of Godzilla, Mothra, and Ghidorah. I have like one clip, and that's where Godzilla's taking out the military, and that's like it.
I have the full movie on my computer right now.
I got torrent.
Yes, Gorizard does have torrents.
Where do you think I got mine?
Oh, does he have torrents?
Okay, we're getting off topic. What else now?
So, Kyle, is that what you want to talk about, or is there anything?
I have no idea what. Oh yes. Besides GMK, what other giant monster movies do we recommend?
Can I go first?
Yes, you can.
All right, ahead. I know I've been saying that a lot tonight, but I'm very energetic about the topic because I'm passionate about. In terms of what else you should show, I'm sure you guys already have a general idea of what you're going to show, but here's just some personal recommendations. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but my entire channel is basically devoted to monster movies, so I do kind of have a general sense of the genre. So, I think I have a strong professional-esque opinion of the thing. Not to toot my own horn, but in terms of general monster movies, I say, of course, GMK. I say you guys would be remiss not to show the original Gojira. The original Gojira is a masterpiece. But if we're talking not Godzilla, King Kong, for sure, the original 1933 King Kong. That's also at a brisk enough runtime where it would easily fit into a specific time slot. A personal favorite of mine is the film 20 Million Miles to Earth, which is a Ray Harryhausen film. I would say show the remake of The Thing. No, I wouldn't say show the original because I love that film. It's one of my favorite movies, but I would say that film might be a little too slowly paced for that kind of audience. So I would say show the remake. Also, I think the effects are more complex and interesting with the remake. Not the prequel in 2011. That movie sucked, but I mean the 1982 remake. Cloverfield. As much as that film is polarizing, I'd say that film as well is a good film to show. In terms of modern monster movies, I'd say that's a good film to show. So what else do you guys have to recommend? That's basically my list. For me, I recommend the whole Godzilla saga. I recommend that.
It's not like they're all gonna sit down and watch all 28 Godzilla films. You gotta recommend at least 2.
Yeah, Bill, you have been doing that.
I Gojira and GMK. I also recommend the 33 King Kong and 5-1 by Peter Jackson. I also recommend the show at a monster movie night. I mean, it's a great movie, but I don't think it would fit into the kind of time slot that Kyle needs. I also recommend the 90s Gamera trilogy. I recommend those. Oh yeah, definitely. They're great films. They're as equally as epic as GMK is.
You guys remember that little story I told you about the Gamera trilogy at school?
Yes.
Okay then, Chris, go on.
I will also recommend War of the Gigantomans.
Let's do War of the Gargantuas.
Shut up! I have a speech for a giant gentleman. I love that movie. It's one of Shiro Honda's greatest movies. I also recommend Rebirth of Mothra 1 and 3. I don't recommend 2. I don't recommend number 2. Unfortunately, 1 and 3 are the 2 better films out of the Mothra series, so watch those. Plus, watch the original Mothra. It's a good movie. I've never seen it myself, but it's pretty good. That's probably... No, honestly, watch Predator and Alien. Those are good ones too, so I recommend those 2. Go ahead, David. Yes, definitely. But not AVP. Don't do it in one shot. Do it separately. Do Alien, then do Predator. Yes.
Well, Predator's not really a giant monster.
Well, Kyle, we just talking giant monster movies or monster movies in general?
Monster
Giant.
movies in general.
Oh, okay.
God
So
damn it. Alright. Okay.
I got you, Gorizard. No. I definitely say Predator. Predator's an amazing movie. Watch it.
Alright, well, since Chris took most of the monster films, I'm just gonna take some of the classics then. I'm expecting that your audiences are expecting old school, generic, and typical giant monster goofiness. So, to appease that appetite for your audiences, I guess I recommend watching the original Gamera film or Gamera versus Gauss. or just one of
case commentary.
just one of the silly monster films, just to make them happy. Because I'm assuming that these people have no idea how real kaiju movies work, and they're expecting the typical ones that they imagine in their minds, like Megalon or Godzilla's Revenge. So just pick one of the silly ones and two of the serious ones.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good balance. Well, because as much as I rave about how serious and awesome giant monster movies are, like the original Gojira, there are just so many of them that are just goofy fun. I mean, the entire show, a Gamera series, there's just a bunch of them out there that are just goofy fun, and that doesn't make them bad. It just makes them entertaining. So I say I agree with Gorizard. Show at least a couple of, or if not just one of those of that particular demographic.
Right.
I have to say, you should also check out the Heisei Godzilla films. Those are deep and dark movies too.
Yes.
Except for Space Godzilla, we all know why.
I just reviewed that film before we did this chat, and you guys will see that tomorrow. Well, me personally, I like Space Godzilla. It's one of my favorite movies. Why? It's a serious movie, but it's also kind of funny when you watch it.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Kyle's right, thanks. So Kyle, is that it, or?
Wait, have I gone?
No, you haven't gone.
I'm so sorry, yes.
Okay. The one monster movie I highly recommend that you watch and the whole world watches, the original 1954 Gojira.
Of course.
And if you hate reading subtitles, just watch Godzilla King of the Monsters.
That film decently encompasses the themes, but it's not as comprehensive as Gojira is.
No, it's not. No. So, are we about ready to wrap up this chat?
One more thing. Zilla sucks.
Yes, he does.
Let's wrap this up.
Okay, I shall end it with a quote. Monsters are tragic beings. They are born too tall, too strong, too heavy. They are not evil by choice. That is their tragedy. Quote Ishiro Honda.
We miss you, Honda. Do.
Okay, Student Council, thank you for your time. I'm Kyle Anderson.
I'm Bill
Fernandez.
I'm Christopher Anderson.
And thank you. Make a good decision. Choose GMK. Well, I'll see you later.